Hi, this is Marcel of Marcel on Tech, and today I'm talking about these bad boys. These are the Oakley Meta Vanguards. Now, these are very, very impressive. As you can see, they're not the most subtle sunglasses, and we know that they have released them from Ray-Ban, which are a bit more sort of casual wear sunglasses or clear glasses, but these are the sports version, and I really wanted to try these out. And I want to tell you what my experience has been and whether you should consider getting them. Let's get into it. Okay, so these were released about 10 days ago. I immediately ordered them because I really liked the look of them, because they are very sporty looking. I did think they were going to be hugely oversized, and I promise I won't keep them on the whole time. But basically, these glasses are incredibly clever, and I have actually been way more impressed with them than I thought I was going to be. Now, I will tell you the price, of course, but let me tell you about my positive experiences first and foremost. So let me take them off here. Now, the lenses themselves are really cool. They are the ones that I went for here are obviously this yellow tint. You can get them in a darker blue. You can get them in a much darker black color as well. The website obviously allows for you to have all those options available to you. It is really nice how they've color matched these side arms. Now, what's very clever as we work around the design of these is that this is actually a touch sensitive point. So you can change the volume, you can cut a phone call off, you can different things just by touching this area here on the front, on the side of the glass there. So that is actually a touch point, and it is really good, and it does actually genuinely work. I've only accidentally a couple of times tapped it, and then music has started playing, and music starts to play from the underside here. Those two areas there are actually speakers, which are downward facing. So of course, when you're wearing it, you actually have those speakers pointing directly down towards your ears. So the sound quality is surprisingly good. Now, where is it good? It's good for audio. It's okay for music. You're definitely not going to have bass because there's just not enough enclosure. It can't reproduce that pace and pressure, but the sound quality, particularly in quiet environments, is perfectly adequate. If you're listening to a podcast, if you're watching certain media, obviously you've got sunglasses on, but the sound quality is good. What you are going to get is sound bleed. So anyone around you is also going to hear what you've got, what you're listening to. So if there's somebody sitting next to you and you're on public transport, or there's somebody sitting next to you, they will definitely hear what you've got. And obviously the louder it goes, the more they'll hear it. When you put, what's very clever is when you put the sunglasses on, you get this pump sound, thump, and it plays and lets you know, and it knows that it is on your face, which means that you can use voice activation, or you can use the buttons on the underside. So there are buttons on the underside of the glasses here. You've got two on the right side and one on the left side. They can be configured, but generally speaking, if you press and hold the little one, it actually takes a video. And I'll show you where it takes a video. If you press in once, just a click, it'll take a photo and it'll make a sound so that you know it's done that. And if you press the big one, then it activates the Meta listening or Meta AI system, which means you can ask it questions, etc., which I'll go into a little bit more in a bit. You've got another one on the side there, which actually allows for hyperlapsing as well, which means obviously you can speed everything up. If you're going skiing or riding a bike, everything's done in fast motion. Those are configurable, so you can change those. And of course, you get an app that goes on your phone. Now, if you look right at the bridge of the glasses here, that is your forward-facing central camera. And that is a 3K camera that will take basically portrait images. So you're getting a much more upright image, but because it's 3K, you can crop it in order to reproduce it. Now, obviously, I'm going to include some of the footage that I got from this in this video. And I would say in good light, it's really good. It's really good. So if you're a sports person, so like myself, I play paddle. I used this the whole afternoon, and I did not have really, in fairness, I didn't have a problem. I did think the weight of it, because of course it's not the lightest sunglasses you're ever going to wear, definitely not the heaviest. Because it's made of plastic, they've kept it as light as they can. and it is actually surprisingly comfortable to wear. After about 2 hours, I did start to feel the weight of it on the bridge of my nose, which is totally to be expected. But taking them off, having a few minutes break, and then putting it back on again was absolutely fine. I didn't have any issue with that whatsoever. The footage that I got was very good. I was really pleased with that. I did have very good lighting, but I even used these in low light as well, and it came out okay. Obviously, wearing these at night is not a good idea unless you've got massively bright floodlights, but these are obviously dark tints, yellowy dark tints. So actually for clarity, which is why I got them, these are really good other than wearing really dark lenses. So I was actually really impressed with how comfortable they are and how good the lenses are. Now, it comes from Oakley, so that's what you'd expect. You are paying a premium as well. What I didn't like is because it is plastic all the way, there is no rubber on here, there's no softening whatsoever. Actually, at the back behind my ear is where it felt and got the most uncomfortable. So where obviously I've put these on and they slide back and go all the way back here, it was actually this point that it felt the most fatigued, which is weird. I wasn't expecting that, but that was the reality of it. So a modification could be to actually put some rubber ends on here so that you can actually have them on for a little bit longer. And of course that would increase the grip. But at no point did I feel like they were going to fall off, because they are very, very secure. So they're not coming off either way. For my head in particular, they fit really, really well. And I had no fear that I was going to lose these. So grip is not a problem, but as a result, because it's hard plastic, it's pushing against your head all the time. And after a given period of time, it does start to feel a little bit achy. Where does it fail a little bit more? Well, aside from that comfort aspect, Meta AI. Meta AI is not really where it needs to be, but it probably will get an awful lot better. So you can ask the glasses, you can look at a car and say, what is this? And obviously the ideal scenario is that it tells you exactly what type of vehicle that is. It got it wrong most of the time. If you're looking at some fruit, usually gets it right. There are lots of different things. If you're interested in knowing exactly what kind of questions that you can ask, put a comment below. I'll maybe make a video about that specifically. But if you are looking for general answers, Meta AI isn't really there yet. There are some things it can answer quite well, but it's nowhere near as good as obviously ChatGPT yet, or Google, etc. But it's getting there. It is getting there. And it is very, very comfortable. And the other thing that I really like about it is that when you are done, you've got the box. Now this box is very well designed. It has a battery inside it. It's quite a big box, as you can see. It's got a little light at the front there. And when you plonk these in, actually the inside is very, very nice. Really nice, soft felt. Of course, it says there, Oakley Meta on the front there. Really, really nice, soft, obviously will protect the lenses. And this is magnetized. So that's a nice sound and feeling, because it definitely doesn't open easily by itself. When you put the sunglasses in, you push down the bridge and now it's charging. As soon as you put it back in the box, it connects with the device you've got the app connected to, and it will immediately start offloading whatever images or video you have on the sunglasses. So it doesn't store them on here, but it did last me. I was recording on and off all throughout my paddle match, and I had them on consistently for exactly 2 hours, and I rinsed out one battery cycle on the sunglasses. So what that meant was I was switching it on and off. It was recording on and off for, in total, about an hour and a half. But I was switching the camera on and off. And by the end of the 2 hours, I'd completely burned out the battery, which was pretty cool. What I am yet to do is leave them on all the time, fully recording and how long that battery lasts. But when you put them back in the box, they charge up and they will give you, they fully recharge from the battery. I've charged this only once, and I've fully recharged the glasses 3 times. So that is really good. That is really, really good, because you can effectively forget about these, wear them like normal sunglasses, use the features when you want to, and you will get a pretty good charge out of this. It does tell you on the speakers, low battery, so you obviously will know when it loses its functionality for some things. But plugging it in is very simple. You've got a USB Type-C, of course, just under there, and it charges up. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour to fully charge, but you can get about 3 to 5 cycles out of the case alone, which is really good as well. So I was quite impressed by that. And the app that comes along with it is pretty basic, Meta AI app. It's pretty basic, but it's pretty much everything you need. There's no editing suite in there. You just pull down your images and it will give you guides as to how to use it. Other than that, it's not really giving you an awful lot, but really, what do you need it for? Once you've got your images off and in your gallery, you can then do whatever you want with them. Of course, you can share on socials, and with it being Meta AI, it does recognize when you want to share it to Instagram, Facebook, or WhatsApp. But that process is very similar to how you do with any camera or imagery anyway. So it's no big deal there, but I do like the case. I have to say it gives a certain amount of heft to it. It's a solid case. It's definitely, even if you drop it, it's not going to get damaged. I haven't tried testing dropping it, whether the box opens. I'm not going to, but I would say they've done well with the case. I do really like that. Now, the only other thing is the price. The Ray-Ban Metas do go for around 250 to 370 euros. These are 580 euros. So that's a lot of money. 580 euros for sunglasses is quite a lot of money, but you've got a lot going on inside these glasses and you've probably got future developments, but don't buy them for, I would say, software that you expect. Buy them for what they do right now. And I would say if you are an avid sports person who rides a bike, plays racket sports, downhill skiing, snowboarding, anything like that, these are really, really cool for recording that type of footage, and the stabilization is very good. Just bear in mind that the aspect ratio is portrait. I was half expecting it to be more widescreen or in landscape, but it isn't. It's much more in portrait. So you've got real estate. You can obviously move around it because it is 3K, but you be the judge of the footage I've included. I'd love to know your comments. Let me know what you think. If you disagree or agree with anything I've said, put a comment below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. And if you've got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye-bye for now.